I am ready now.
Coming to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan. Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
And what can we expect?
Surprises!
Engineered by Jay Timko and produced by Eric Beatty. And without further delay, it's showtime! Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
All right, folks. We're off and running. We're official, the Detroit Cast. New intro. And, is it a Monday? I don't even know what day it is anymore.
Does it really matter?
No, it really doesn't. But yeah, as you noticed, folks, we had our epic new intro.
That was epic. I think epic is the word for that.
Yes. And we wanted to come out with a bang, and I figured that's the way to do it. So get used to it. You'll hear it every day. I've been telling Jay for an hour now. Every day. It's going to be like that every day.
Those
you get
big
the
kettle drums. Boom,
yeah.
Boom, 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 boom.
And Izzy will be a part of it. I don't know if you recognized Izzy in there.
Beautifully done.
Oh, or Howl. And yeah, we've got. It's an exciting day for all of us here at the Detroit Cast. By the way, I'm Mike. This is Jay. Tim Coe, as you heard, engineering things. Eric Fady over here, the gang. And we're proud to announce the Detroit Cast. It has been for a while. That shouldn't surprise anybody. But yeah, we've got the new intro and some big news to talk about. Of course, we'll get into the draft and Monica Lewinsky and update on
the Virgin Whore.
The Virgin Whore, exactly. We'll get into all that stuff. But first, I think it's time to talk about the Detroit Cast itself as a show, and we're all proud of it and happy with it. And it's time. It's time to take this mother to 5 days a week. And so we're literally sitting down here before we went live going, all right.
We're really going to do this?
Do we really want to do this? Do we really want to announce this? And everybody's on board. So
here we go.
Here we go. Balls to the wall, man. And this is going to be a show that'll be 5 days a week, starting now. And I'm sure there will be some bugs to work out as we go, like with anything. But yeah, we want this to be as reliable and consistent, something you can count on. Set your clock to, set your watch to it every day. And, you know, we're working through how best to do that with everybody's schedule because until we start making actual money, the lives of the characters putting on this show each day don't start and end with the Detroit Cast, unfortunately. Hopefully someday soon it will. But right now,
got to pay some bills.
We got to pay some bills, or other people pay them for us. Thanks, Mom, Dad. Yeah. We're getting help from a lot of places, and we can't thank everybody enough. And we appreciate everybody's patience. And for those of you that are bitching all the time online, oh, why is the show only an hour long? This is bullshit. I don't feel like I'm getting my free's worth. Well, that's why. It's going to be every day of the week, and so relax. So, yeah, with that, I hope people like the lineup. As for Jay sitting here, we don't need to go too deep into anything, but I'll make one thing clear. Jay is not a Mike Clark replacement, just like Tim Coe and Eric were not Mike Clark replacements. Nobody's replacing Mike Clark. You don't replace Mike Clark.
You don't.
And Jay has no interest in replacing Mike Clark. I don't mean to speak for you, but I will. You don't have any interest in replacing Mike Clark. I wouldn't want to replace him. And he's not a replaceable guy. Jay was brought here because I needed someone who wanted to do this show, and it was a miracle that it worked out the way it did. Honest to God, dude, it seems fate-like. Seriously, for you to be available in the middle of the afternoon to do this.
Yeah, things fell into place well.
Yeah.
I had just left when I got your text or phone call about coming on and giving it a try. I just left a job that I was doing for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And,
a professional job.
Yeah, and I for sure had come to the point where I didn't love it anymore, and honestly, I wasn't really liking much of it. anymore as well. So I had gotten out of that and into something a bit more flexible, and you gave me a call, and I said, man, I'm looking for something different to do, something fun, and man, this has been good.
And here we are.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny, Jay, because we had last time we had talked about anything at all like this. The reason I knew maybe like 99% of the people listening right now who are not thrilled going to work every day. I think we were talking at Derek's wedding.
Yeah.
Right? Wasn't it Derek's wedding?
Yeah, last fall.
Yeah, and it was, and I've
after I gave the dinner prayer.
After you gave hilarious dinner prayer,
Thank
by
you.
the way. Yeah, it was.
I was told it was the funniest dinner prayer ever.
It was
at a wedding.
It was hilarious. We should probably get tape of it and play it for people. It was funny as shit. But I'd been telling you for 15 years, dude, you'd be great at this. You should. I'd love to do a show one day with you. And you always laughed and blew it off, as you should, as most people would. But I'm not kidding. I knew it'd be something that you'd be good at, and I knew it would be something that you'd really like. And I never in a million years dreamed when I sent you the text, like, hey, I know this is going to sound crazy, but I'm doing this kind of thing. And I never dreamed that you would be like, screw it, I'll try it. You know, and all you've said all along is, dude, if I suck, tell me. I don't, you know, you've worked really hard to do this, and this is your career, and I'm a lawyer, I'll be fine. I can take it, and believe me, I would tell you. If you sucked, I would tell you.
Well, thanks, man, and thanks for giving me a shot at this. It's a ton of fun, and like I said, I'm looking for something, or was looking for something completely different to do, and this has just been great. And you know what? People out there have been supportive. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I'm committed to bringing a good, consistent show with you.
It's awesome,
and I'm excited, man.
Yeah. And
he's the one who sucks.
where Mike Clark comes in, you know, Mike is at a point in his career. He doesn't owe anybody anything. He doesn't, and I've talked a lot to Mike, and I love Mike. I worked for 18 years with him, and did this show with him, and I've let him, you know, he's just getting to a point in his career where he's winding down. He's done it. He's made his money. He's made his name, and he's worked his ass off for a long time. And he's entertained a whole hell of a lot of people. So the thought of coming in here and trying to start something where you don't really know where it's going to go, there's no guarantees, there's no contracts lined up. It's a crapshoot for everybody in this room, and everyone in here is hungry and wants it and is going for it. And for Mike, I totally understand why, you know, he's focused on, like, hey, my dad's getting older and isn't going to be here forever. I lost my mom. And I think when his dog died, it hit him like, shit, man, I don't want to. I just knew he wasn't going to want to go 5 days a week. So long story short, Mike and I have talked plenty, and we've gone back and forth about, hey, dude, if you want to do something, this studio was built as a network, Radio for One Studios. That's why I named it that, to be, it could function as a 24-hour radio station if we wanted it to. And so Mike knows that, and he had talked about doing a specialty type of show, and I said, dude, you want to do that 1 day a week for an hour? I'm all in, man. Let's do it. You know, if you don't want me to be a part of it, you can still use the studio and do it. I don't give a shit. Whatever you want. So what my point is, all doors are open, but for the purpose of the Detroit cast, you're looking at it. It's the four guys in this room. We're going forward, and we're going to work really hard, and we're all very, very committed to putting on a kick-ass fucking show, and that's all we care about. And hopefully we'll make people laugh, and hopefully you'll hang in there with us. There are other people behind the scenes, a part of this, who are really working hard for us as well, and getting us in the right direction. So we'll leave it there for now. If you've got questions, feel free to send them to us. There's a new website we're launching. You guys won't have to do anything different. Go to your normal place. It'll look different, and there's lots of new stuff. It's exciting time for us, and I just wanted to personally thank you, Jay, and Eric, and Timco for being a part of this thing and making it as good as it is, and it will only get better. This show will absolutely, in 6 months, you guys will be amazed at how damn good this thing will be. I promise you. So thank you guys for that. Thank you all for listening. Without you guys, without you, there's no us. And that's just the fact of it. So anyway, that is what it is. We've talked for a while about news coming and stuff like that. That's what it is, and we'll have more news as the week goes on, and we'll explain exactly how we're going to do it all. We're still trying to figure it out ourselves, but that's the crux of it. So anyway, we should probably get onto the show, though.
Let's get on to it.
What do you say? How about that draft? Are you thrilled with the Lions draft over the weekend?
I'm not thrilled.
Not thrilled. Why?
I guess
tight end.
They got some pieces, some usable pieces. It looks like, but yeah, the first round pick. It's like I said last week. You've already spent that first round pick, so no matter what you do in the next rounds, it's not going to convince me that your first rounder was the correct pick.
Yeah.
You've already spent that gold chip on a tight end.
Yeah.
You could have spent that gold chip somewhere of need instead.
Well, when you think about what the needs for the Lions are, nobody would go, "Oh, I got tight end. If you get a chance, you gotta spend your gold on tight end."
Yeah.
Nobody thought that, and it always falls into that same lame thing of, "Well, you took the best guy available on the board," and it's like, no, that's not what you needed. It's not what you needed.
Well, there's a lot to criticize, but there's a couple pieces that are interesting. The second round pick of Van Noy,
Kyle Van Noy,
yeah, the linebacker. By everything I read, it looks like he's a guy that can plug in pretty quickly.
And he was the roommate, I think, of Zig Ansah,
Yep.
who's done well for the Lions. Last year was his rookie year, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he was the second round pick at number 40. And
then they went with a center, which is a weird pick.
Yeah.
Because what you're doing is you're obviously assuming Raiola's not long for the team, and so you're picking a backup at this point in the third round when you could try to find a starter.
Well,
hope to find a starter in the third round. That's not unreasonable to think that you can find a starter in the third round.
Well, what round did they take Warford in?
Third.
Yeah. Okay, and he's another SEC guy.
He's a guard, an offensive guard who did quite well last year.
He did very well. Surprised people. Surprised the Lions.
It was their best third-round pick in years. I mean, they've wasted the third, fourth, fifth round for a long, long time.
Absolutely. And then moving on from there, they got Nevin Lawson, a DB. They finally got a DB.
Undersized. He's 5'9".
Okay, yeah, that's great. Most teams are getting into the 6 foot, 6'1", 2, 3. That's kind of the trend.
Yeah.
With great success for a lot of teams. Think Seahawks. With DBs. So the Lions, of course, go with the 5'9" guy, maybe a 5'8" guy.
Trying to cover 6'2", 6'3" receivers.
Why wouldn't you cover a 6'5" guy with a 5'9" DB?
Makes sense.
Yeah. And then I love their 7th round pick.
Tell me who that was again.
Nate Freeze.
Oh, the kicker.
The kicker from Boston College.
That's not above criticism. Taking a kicker, I mean, obviously it's happened. They took a punter last year, and he's looked to be a good punter. They took Hansen, but typically teams don't take kickers.
Do you know when the last time the Lions drafted a kicker was?
Jason Hansen.
Jason Hansen. Do you remember what round they took him in? You probably
I'm guessing 5th, 4th?
No. 2nd.
Wow. Holy cow.
Dude, the Lions spent a 2nd round draft pick on Jason
Hansen. Is he from
Hansen.
Washington State?
Yes. Yep, you're right.
Can you imagine the uproar right now had they dropped the second?
I was trying to think, who is the Janikowski is the only one I could think of.
Yeah, you're right.
Wasn't he a 1st round pick?
He might have been.
I think he was a blue.
Remember how dumpy that guy looked? Just like a big ass,
Yeah.
Just completely out of shape.
Totally.
Just a total partier.
Yeah. Banging 80 yards though.
Just had a leg.
Beast. And it depends what paper you look at, but when I'm looking at the paper here talking about they break down all the teams' drafts and how they did, and they grade them.
Mm-hmm.
And here they've got the Lions with a B. They grade the Lions a B. Analysis. Ebron should be a top 3 weapon in the passing game from day one, while Van Noy has a clear path to the starting strong side linebacker job. Freeze fills a need. Swanson could be the long-term starter, and other picks provide solid depth. Even if Webster, no relation to me, even if Webster takes time to develop, the main issue is missing on an impact defensive back. Yeah, no shit. But they give him a B, and then I'm looking at some of the national papers, and they've done the same thing, and they break it all down. They get to the line. They've got it as loved it. Okay, they got like the Browns, the Rams, the Texans. They love their drafts. They've got liked it category. They've got a category, and then they've got don't get it. And tops of their list in the don't get it category,
The
Lions.
And that's the national perspective. That's interesting, right?
Exactly. They're not
more
playing.
objective.
Well, yeah, I don't know who would be more critical because.
Well, they're looking at it from afar. They don't need to walk in the room with anybody, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's
They're
true.
just
Their take is
analyzing.
Well, they analyzed it kind of like we did, Jay, which was they took tight end with the 10th overall, and maybe he will pan out as Vernon Davis light or better. But given the existing talent on offense, which includes tight end Brandon Pettigrew and Joseph Fourier, was waiting to patch a defense with several cracks, the best decision. Was waiting to patch a defense with several cracks, the best decision. It's exactly what we said. They're trying to get Vernon Davis, Jimmy Graham, and you're taking a guess. You didn't need to guess. You had your gold, as you put it. You had your gold. Why would you spend it on a tight end? Hopefully he's awesome, but.
And I still think he'll be a productive. I'd say still. It's been a week.
I know.
No, I do.
It still could work out.
I think it will. I think he will be a productive player for them.
Just ask him. He'll tell you all about how great he is.
But the point is, did you need that luxury? Could Pettigrew or the other tight end have done the same thing that he's going to do? You know, when you see him catching those fades in that end zone, could we have done that with another player that we already had? Or did we have to go with him? And could we
Absolutely, we could.
Could we have had a starting DB? When you start seeing our guys get lit up in the backfield, chucking it over Houston. Houston's supposed to be our best cornerback, right, by far. He's still injured. Yeah. And so you've got all these question marks from 3rd, 4th, 5th round picks of, the last couple of years that just don't look like they're panning out, but who they're going to have to go with now. Yeah. And that's such a critical. With the amount of passing that's done in that league, it's so critical to have good DBs, and they just don't have them. No, they don't, and it's one of those things that you can't patch and cover up. Like it shows itself week in and week out, and they don't care. They'll just pick you apart. Any good quarterback will pick you apart if you've got a suspect set of DBs. Yeah, and so I fear that the Lions. Everybody agreed that they had a glaring need on the corners, and they didn't address it till the 3rd, 4th round. I don't know, man. I don't get it. There's a reason those guys are going as the 13th, 14th DB at that point because of their size. You look at the size and the speed and the vertical. It's very much off what the 1st and 2nd rounders are going for. Yeah. Well, anything else jump out at you in the draft? Obviously, Cleveland, I think, had a great draft. They really did, getting Gilbert and then Johnny Football. We'll see. Yeah. He's got those big man hands. He'll probably be great. Isn't that funny? That's all you hear about it, his big hands. Yeah, yeah. God. Well, I used to talk to Fellhauer, and I got into it back a couple years ago. I was like, he's small. He's a little guy. No. And him and Drew both were trying to tell me he was 6'5". Oh, and I'm like, way. Are you shitting me? He's like 5'10". They try to, you trying to squeeze an inch on me, boy? Like they try to eke him up to 6 foot, but he's not 6 feet tall. But they do act like he's got a pack of bananas for hands. He's got a baseball mitts. They're huge. So I'm sure he'll be fine, and he's entertaining. I'll watch some Browns games just to check that out. And then fitting for the Rams. The Rams, the gay guy. Yeah, hey. The Rams are getting all the press for taking Sam's. Yeah, right. Yes, they are. Michael Sam, not Sam's. Yeah, the Rams with Sam's. Michael Sam, and him and his boyfriend looked thrilled. Mm-hmm. We're very happy for him. But I think it's cool because sports is the one place where nobody gives a shit about political correctness or leveling the playing field. You're never going to see someone go, when are we finally going to have a woman in there making the same amount of money and a woman could be a center just as well as a man? Like, nobody cares. Black, white, none of it matters when you talk about the professional football leagues. Pro football, baseball, all that shit is irrelevant. It is. So Michael Sam is an interesting case because you're reading articles, and it sounds like they made this pick when they did, which was almost the dead last pick in the draft, right? 7th round.
Yeah, number 249 of 255, perhaps. And it sounds like, well, it was such an important thing, and it was a momentous thing. And I'm going, since when? Since when does anyone give a shit about things like that? It's about building your team to win. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. This guy likes dick. Well, great. Good for him.
Yeah, for anyone who didn't realize, this is the first openly gay college player.
Yes, and I'm happy for him. Wonderful. Great. But in pro football, people don't care who you like, who you don't like. This isn't...
Got to get the job done.
Got to get the job done, period.
And the problem is he had a bad 40 time. He's not got the greatest measurables in terms of size, strength, and speed, and so it's real questionable whether he should have even been drafted. There's a whole lot of these guys who don't get drafted who end up being signed as free agents, and
very common.
Yeah. And you know, was this an attempt by the Rams to kind of feed off the progressive appearance of it and benefit?
It sounds like it. Is that possible?
Sure.
I mean, I was honestly thinking there's no way an NFL franchise would do that for that kind of press.
Sure, they would.
Really?
I think so. That late, I think some teams look at it like, you know, we're just taking flyers at this point in the 7th round anyway.
Yeah.
Why not, you know, gain some good publicity from it and look like the progressive team, the one that did it? And
I get
20 years from now, your trivia question is, you know, it was the first team to.
But they compare it to it says the Rams didn't include Sam among the 70 players teams can bring in for pre-draft visits because, as Fisher put it, defensive line was not a draft priority. His most significant pre-draft contact with the team came when D-line coach for the Rams there visited the Missouri campus. Fisher hardly needed any personal connection with Sam before pulling the trigger on history. I feel like I know him already because of all the attention that his courage provided. And I'd hope that he already feels that he knows me. I have a lot of respect for everything that it took for him to take the approach that he took. What are we talking about?
Right.
Is he a great football player, or are you just proud that he came out as a gay guy? Because that's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
I mean, who gives a shit?
Yeah, I think your point is keep the social bullshit out of all this.
Totally,
it's just about football. And unfortunately, this might be a reaction to kind of the whole Donald Sterling and the NBA thing.
Maybe.
You know, all the, you know, you see what press that gets, and you see, well, let's use the other side of it, and again, look progressive and look accepting and feed off get some goodwill that way.
Yeah.
But they've taken some Facebook comments from people about this. This is really spurring a lot of discussion. And here's a guy who kind of agrees with you. I'm happy for Michael Sam as a player and as a person. However, he was almost the last pick in the draft, and he's getting more coverage than some 2nd and 3rd round picks. Let the young man play. Stop highlighting him and making him a poster boy for gay and lesbian organizations.
Yep.
Give him the coverage a 7th round pick normally gets. Best of luck, Michael. You know, I mean, it's like, hey, if you can play. I tend to agree with that.
And at some point, that's all that will matter anyways. Yeah. Nobody's going to put him on the field in an actual game if he doesn't belong.
Yeah.
Like, that will weed itself out. It seems a bit overblown. Do other people agree?
Yeah, well, you've got one guy saying the timing of Sam's selection was about what teams thought he was worth. To say anything else is to try and make it about something that it wasn't. Mm-hmm. Now, if he has an average NFL career, people will expect him to make the Hall of Fame, and if he doesn't, they will cry discrimination.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
He was fortunate to get drafted, and it had nothing to do with his sexual orientation. His measurables are simply not that impressive. This dude's right.
Yep.
That dude's right. Jay.
Let's see here. The Rams said Sam earned All-America honors last season, was named co-defensive player of the year in the best conference in college football, yet lasted until pick 249 in the draft. He's considered undersized for a defensive end at 6'2", and was a so-so time in the 40. And stiff hips, he does not fit the profile for an easy conversion to outside linebacker.
Stiff hips.
Stiff hips.
I wonder what that's from.
I don't know. Just, you know, stiff hips, don't we all? Still, it was incredible that he almost didn't get drafted. The Rams, with Fisher's lead in the matter, supported by GM Les Snead, team pres and owner saved the NFL from major embarrassment.
See that? So that they're saying, oh, it was discrimination that kept him into the late 7th round. No way. If you look at his numbers, and anybody who knows anything about this stuff, you compare him to others.
Yes,
he went right where he should, right at the end, or as an undrafted free agent.
Which is what they thought. I mean, you often will hear guys that we know personally that were told, oh, a 2nd round, 3rd round. That means 5th or 6th round. And if they were talking 5th, 6th, 7th round for this guy. He was lucky to be drafted. And if he didn't love Dick so much, he probably doesn't get drafted. Just being honest. Seriously, if this guy doesn't come out of the closet when he did, he probably isn't drafted. That doesn't mean he can't make a roster. There are some amazing talents taken late rounds. Tom Brady.
6th round.
Absolutely. They drafted an openly gay player, a point hammered home when ESPN cameras captured the emotional images of history from Sam's draft day party.
See, this is what's getting the most press, I think.
Yes.
The video.
Yeah, this video here with him in a pink shirt, holding hands with his boyfriend, and making out as soon as he gets the call. And then absolute waterworks. He's bawling the whole time he's on the phone. He's not doing much to shed stereotypes.
No, he's not.
Is that a video there or just a picture, Timko? Is it? You want to hit play there?
Not really.
An openly gay man. Did it wreck the locker room? No. What it did was help them the best seasons in Missouri history, 12 wins, which they had never had before. Okay, as we told you, this is the moment where Michael Sam got the news that he is going to be a member of the St. Louis Rams.
I'll do whatever it takes. I'll suck dick.
There you see him on the phone, and there you see the raw emotion. We've seen this so many times, over and over again for so many players.
I'm sorry.
You're used to seeing these videos. You see these videos a million times, right? With him and his mom or him and his girlfriend.
He's sobbing. I've never seen anybody do that.
No, I've never seen that either.
He's openly sobbing. I was drafted in 7th round. Vito Camisano, that's his boyfriend. Look at his boyfriend lovingly holding on to him. And honestly, I'm happy for him. I swear to God, I know I sound like a prick, but I wish him nothing but the best. I hope he has an amazing career. God, stop rubbing his arm.
Imagine that guy is. Imagine the guy rubbing his arm is a woman. Wouldn't you just be like, kind of step away, let him have his moment? Oh, boy, there we go. There we go.
Kissing. Everybody's thrilled. That guy is going to take a pounding later on. Just wait, Vito. It's coming. Which one do you think is the... Ooh, there we go. God, he's got the whole package, man. He's in an interracial relationship and a gay relationship. That's good for him. And he's playing for the in the NFL.
For the Rams.
For the Rams, of course. I know I was picking like which team would fit him. Of course, San Francisco came to mind.
The Browns.
The Browns, the Packers.
Yes.
And the Rams. Of course. And of course the Rams.
Oh my God, they're feeding each other cake. I didn't see this part.
Oh yeah, most people didn't see this. This video is back that up. I didn't see this either. I heard about it. Oh God. No.
Working with the ESPYs and the
I'm sorry, that's hard to look at. That's really hard to watch. I'm sorry. Come here, you. Get over here, you. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's hard to watch.
Yeah.
A guy, that could be a guy and a girl. That's still hard to watch. And like again, I wish him nothing but the best. I hope he's has an amazing career in the NFL. But I think it's a crock of shit to go this way and act like had he not been drafted, it would have been some sort of discrimination thing.
Right. Right.
That to me is the bullshit part of this. And we'll move on here in a second. But the part that kind of pissed me off was the defense they're running. They didn't need a player like this. So this seems like at the end of the draft, like you said, it's kind of a throwaway draft. Let's make news. Let's get headlines.
Be the one.
And then they're trying to. Fisher got himself up to speed on delicate things and big moments in history through the league when lines have broken down and been crossed. And he says Fisher knows this isn't just about football. Do you know what happened in 1946? Fisher asked. 1946, the LA Rams signed former UCLA star Kenny Washington to break an NFL color barrier that existed for more than a dozen years. Well, comparing the two is not fair.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, a color barrier, you were keeping a guy out because he was black. He was probably better than everybody in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
The fact that he was black was why he wasn't allowed in. But the fact is, he probably whoop all their asses as far as talent goes. Here's a guy who just happens to be gay.
Yeah.
That doesn't make him better. It doesn't mean he's a better athlete. And if he is, I'm sure if this was he could have been the #1 pick in the draft if his talent warranted it.
Instead, they're taking a reach with a 7th-round pick.
Exactly. That's what it seems like.
Hey, did you hear about the tweet?
I'll give him this. He's got a big hog, though. Look at that. Did you see the picture of him in the Under Armours?
This is the combine picture where they're all in those real tight Under Armours.
Eric can't wait to get a glimpse. Whoa. Sorry, you dove for it. You almost knocked me out of his chair.
Ouch. Hey, ease up. I'll give it to you.
Look at that. Doesn't that look like an impressive dong? Wow. If you were going to sit on a dong, Eric, wouldn't that be one you'd choose? Look at that thing.
I don't think it fit.
Show it to Timko. Come on. Show it around. Hey, he's a good-looking guy. They're a cute couple.
They are a cute couple.
Seriously. Good. I wish him nothing but the best, I swear.
What about the tweet that came out from Marshall Henderson? Are you familiar with that?
I am. What I want to know is, how do they know for sure that... Because the tweet, it wasn't like the tweet said, Michael Sam, this is bullshit, faggot, tweet.
Right.
What did the tweet say?
Was it OMG, how horrible?
It was OMG, and then there was an, I think it went like this. He sent OMG, and it was right when they showed the
right
kissing.
When they're kissing.
And then someone wrote on Twitter, said, asked on Twitter if he was referring to Michael Sam, kissing his boyfriend, to which he replied with the tweet,
how horrible.
But he didn't acknowledge, yes, I'm replying about Michael Sam making out with his boyfriend. Yeah. How horrible. He didn't say that. He just
he didn't. It depends on what the meaning of is.
I guess, yeah. and clearly that's what he was talking about, But have you heard how he's backpedaled off this now, or how he's tried to explain this? No, I know that the last I knew, the Dolphins had suspended him from all team activities until he takes some sensitivity class.
Yeah.
But how is he back?
No, I'm referring to the one where he's claiming it was a sociological experiment. That series of tweets.
Oh, no. I didn't know he was. It was a learning experience for all of us.
Yeah. One of my best friends who is gay is about to graduate in psychology and asked me to say these things so he can have responses. That's what was posted after.
What do you mean, so he could have responses?
He's saying it was all kind of an experiment to see socially what would happen if you reacted in a certain way to...
So by him acting like he was disgusted by this draft pick, he knew that there was going to be all kinds of response in the Twitter world, which there was. Yeah. And he's trying to act like
that's an interesting way to backpedal, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was all an experiment.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys fed right into it.
You did exactly what I knew you would. But
I have to remember that one.
Yeah, I might have to use it after some of the comments today. It was an experiment, you pigs. So I still don't kind of get that. What else does he say? Is there more to that? I mean, how's the experiment going? Is it working well for him?
Yeah, he says, let's see. The point of his study was to see. So he's referring to. Okay, one of my best friends who is gay is about to graduate in psychology. Asked me to say these things so he can have responses. Then the point of his study was to see how people react when others say things or act a certain way against another group of people. He chose gays because of how he relates to it and has to live it every day of his life. He asked me because he knew I would get incredible, feedback. And oh my God, how crazy you people are, LOL. It is absolutely amazing to see what people have said, whether agreeing or disagreeing.
Do you believe him? Or do you think it's just total bullshit?
He better have a gay friend who's willing to come forward and confirm this.
Yeah. If we've ever needed a gay guy to come out, it's now. He needs a gay guy to come out and get his back.
Dug himself a bit of a hole here. But it's an interesting way to get out, man. You'll have to remember that one. It was all a sociological experiment.
Yeah. Although, especially, you're talking about a guy that plays for the Miami Dolphins, who has just gone through this nasty deal with the linemen and the bullying.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't think of that.
They've gone through a whirlwind of shit. He's got to know more than anybody. And he's only a second-year guy, but he was on that roster last year. He's got to know as much as anybody that being insensitive or is going to be a real problem. More than any other team in the NFL, you would think of Miami Dolphins.
Richie Incognito, right? That's what you're referring to.
Exactly.
The guy before,
yeah, Incognito and what's his name? The Stanford kid. God.
Yeah, the other line when he was ripping on. I don't see why.
Who's a Niner now?
I don't know, man. These tweets just, I don't know. Is it worth it to be on Twitter? You know what I mean?
No, it's not. I mean, you're never going to
One drunken moment can just
totally
ruin you.
You're right. And if it wasn't for this show, I don't know that I'd have any social media going, to be honest with you. I mean, I use it mostly just for this type of thing because it's too easy to get taken out of context and have one thing run with, and good luck explaining your way out of that. It's really hard to do. Yeah, you're not much for social media.
I'm not on it. Not much for it.
Is that why? Are you worried that you're going to get drunk and just be wailing out really offensive things all night?
No,
what are you hiding, Jay?
I want to be the last man standing. I want Facebook to come to me and say, look, we've got to complete the circle here. Okay, we've got we got all 3 billion of you.
If
you're the last one.
If that's true, I think this guy is going to give you a run for money. Because I think Timko will be. Yeah. It'll be a fight because Timko will be on there after you, I think, or before you. You know what I mean?
You can guarantee that. Well, I don't know. We'll go to our graves without being on social network.
Really? Together. Why? What's the big hang-up? Why? I know people that I know that are not that aren't into that are very, very firm. Like they don't want anything to do with it.
No, that's not me. That's not me. It honestly was just. Been too busy with my, I mentioned my prior job just being no, it's not laziness. It's just I had too much going on with my other stuff, and now that I've stepped back a little bit, I can sort of see the usefulness of it. And doesn't mean I'm going to be on there before Timko, but
that's true. But you could see doing the Detroit cast, for instance. You can see where it'd be nice to reach out to hundreds of people all at once, and it makes sense. But for your everyday Joe, who's like, I don't understand people that go and take a picture of their lunch and look what I had.
I guess once you connect with all your old high school buddies, then what's the use to me? I don't know.
But don't you feel like you're connected to the people that you want to connect with?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
The other ones, it's like there's a reason you haven't talked to them.
Yeah.
Kind of. Not to be a dick, but more times than not, you're going to get people reaching out to you that you go, oh, yeah, I remember that guy, and wasn't crazy about him then.
But I'll be friends with you now.
Yeah.
Do you feel it kind of pulling back recently, like the whole Facebook thing in particular? I know Twitter's going strong, but...
yeah.
Don't you think it kind of was at its height a year ago or so?
Well, yeah.
It felt like, to me at least, people around me.
Yes.
I'm not on it, but...
No doubt. And I wonder where it goes, though, because you think back to the one before that predates Facebook. MySpace, dude. Yeah. That thing is a ghost town.
Yeah.
And that they had everybody.
Yeah.
They were the first of all of them.
It was the Betamax.
It was the Betamax, and it's just gone. So it's weird, and I think what's his name still owns it too.
Oh yeah, I think it actually
Timberlake.
I feel like that's started to make a little bit more of a comeback, but only because only because originally MySpace was a music thing more so, and not a social network thing. It was more for bands to get their music out there. And
I think I have used it for.
Right, and I think I have heard that it is getting like a little bit of a comeback, but it's only because of the music aspect, not because
And
But
Facebook was meant for just the colleges at first, right? Wasn't that like,
you had to have a college ID to get into Facebook first.
Wow.
So I said I'd show up and do this, Mike. I did not say I'd go on Facebook, right?
You're going on Facebook. I'm going to make you go on MySpace, Jay.
I mean, where do you see the future of this stuff? Because I'm watching, because Jay, your kids, I've got kids. You can see my kids are not on social networking, kind of thing.
Losers.
Yeah, they're the losers of the school. But I believe you want to talk to somebody, you should face-to-face
pick up a phone and call.
Yeah, or pick up a phone or come visit. But nobody goes to visit kids anymore. You know, I mean, they have to have play dates. You know, and they don't. It's so different. And kids, I've got, you know, all they care about is I got 5,000 people following me on Twitter or likes on Facebook.
Oh,
and it's like, how many of these people do you actually fucking see? And it's just a whole different. I don't know. That's why I'll never get onto it.
Yeah, it's like another stress in their lives. My boys are on Instagram, and so they're constantly just sending dumb little selfies of them, you know, at their soccer tournament.
And what is that? Just a pic? Just instant
just
Instagram.
A picture out there.
Yeah. I think I'm on a lot of those, but I don't use them really. I basically just send a Facebook out when we're starting the show.
Maybe.
Yeah. Well, on mine I do.
Sorry, everybody out there tracking our Facebook page. That's
what
another
happened?
thing we're going to be a bit more consistent with, right?
Yeah.
We promise.
Yeah. It's a. I didn't realize we weren't, and that's my fault. All of that stuff, anything that goes wrong is my fault.
Absolutely, it is.
Yeah, it's all part of the process of figuring all that shit out and working it out.
Wait, so your kids are on Instagram. Do you
my
feel
kids
confident?
aren't.
You, Jay, sorry. How do you foresee them like going? They're probably not tainted yet, if you will. But how are they going to conduct like a job interview? I see some kids that, you know, they're always on their phone, you know, and they're not paying attention to class. I just try and envision how they're going to get a job, how they're going to conduct themselves in an interview.
Well, that's how interviews are going to go now in the future. Is they're just going to text back and forth. I don't know, man. I mean, they can't. The danger is that you insulate them from that stuff, and you're insulating them from something that's part of the culture now, and you can't do that.
Oh yeah.
You want them to be involved in it, but you want to keep them safe on it. You want to make sure they're not, you know, got some crazy ass people trolling them.
Because you're at that age, your kids are at that age where they're right on the cusp of, do you get them a phone?
No.
You don't?
No, but a lot of their friends have them.
Oh, I bet.
They just have the little iTouches.
What is that?
It's like an iPod. It's a glorified iPod. It doesn't have phone service, but you can iChat each other, and you can Instagram off it.
Okay.
It has internet access.
Yeah. Oh, it does.
But, you know, we throw the governor on that.
So what age do you think phone is coming? Like
when they start actually going places and needing, you know, to connect with me or my wife. I mean, I just don't see the need to provide them a phone so they can text each other. That's
yeah. God, can you imagine in school if we would have had phones with the internet, dude? How would you ever fail a test?
I know.
Seriously, Google knows everything.
Simple Google searches.
Simple Google searches
can render all sorts of answers.
Jesus Christ! You better be happy with it, because if it gets big, then everyone's gonna be coming up to you. Hey, Jay, I did a simple Google search the other day.
Like, shut the fuck up, God! I wish I never would have said that.
Now we're going 5 days a week, Jay. You better be happy with that.
Hey, did you guys see this balloon crash, by the way?
Absolutely, I saw the story about it.
Oh,
frightening, man.
God, dude.
You ever been in one of those?
No.
We sent my dad up in one for like a Father's Day present. And by the way, Mike, I have to give you kudos for your Mother's Day present yesterday.
Oh, did you like
it?
Yeah,
you gave your mom a dirty house to clean. Nice of you, Mike.
Thank you.
She was in town, and Mike invited her over to clean.
Yeah, she invited herself over to clean.
My God, Mike.
She wanted to do that. Yeah.
Your mother's a saint.
She is a saint.
And I will say,
your reaction is hilarious, dude.
It's like, holy shit, this counter's enormous. I walked in your kitchen, I couldn't believe it. The Maxim from January 2013 was gone. The 500 bills laying on there. There was only one cat.
Bills as well?
Yeah, yes, the bills are paid.
Only one cat was on the counter.
Yeah.
There was room to sit and spread out. I was amazed and
you actually
happy.
Sat down in there and that like did work. You started prepping. I've never seen you do that. Now great. I know why. You had room. Yeah, my mother is a saint, and she came over for Mother's Day. I felt bad. It was like, you don't really want to come over here. She's like, I love this stuff. I said, well, then by all means, the least I can do is let you come over and clean your ass off.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I know. Hey.
Son of the year.
You all wish you could be sons of the year like me, and you can.
I think I smell less cat piss down here too, which is nice.
I actually came down here with my mom when her Mother's Day duties cleaning upstairs were almost finished,
and gave her the basement as well.
I said, Jay thinks it smells like cat piss down here. Does it? Because I can't smell anything.
And she replied,
she said, not bad. But and then we had a discussion that Monster.
I think Monster's
I don't
out
want
of the room,
Monster to
yeah.
hear this.
Yeah, Monster's out of the room.
I think my mom wants to murder Monster. Like, for real.
Yeah.
She's like, I'll pay for it. She's like, will Beth be really devastated if I kill Monster? And
Are we talking like in a bag in a river? Or
she's not going to strangle her.
No.
I mean, she'll take her in and have it done,
Humanely.
Just make sure Monster. I don't want Monster to hear this.
No.
I don't want it going
God,
down
no.
like that. But she's getting old, and cats will ruin shit. They will if and you can't go, hey, oh, there's a toilet right there, shithead. What are you doing? Like, they don't care. They're just gonna do their thing, and so I'm not gonna let her ruin the house. So I think my mom's gonna murder my cat. I really do.
Is she back in California right now?
The cat?
No,
Or my mom?
your mom.
Oh no.
Is she back?
She's
She's
here.
still
My
around
mom is
for how
here.
much longer?
I don't know. Well, she'll be here. She only goes out. They go out west for the winter.
Okay.
So she'll be in town she's got much to do around here.
Okay.
It's part one of her cleaning duties on Mother's Day.
Yeah.
She's only got the first half of her present for Mother's Day.
Well, I'm looking outside too. You've got a pretty big lawn and a
Mhm.
lot of upkeep around
Well,
the pool.
The reason you can see the trees and bushes over there that look as nice as they are is because my mom cleaned those last year and got that all going. So
You're
between
a dick.
her and Beth, they've got a lot. No, I'm just kidding.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not.
He's not kidding.
No, I'm
No,
not.
I'm
That's
kidding.
the worst part. I wish I could say I'm kidding, but she does love it, and that's the least I can do. I want to
Can't
make
take
her
that
happy.
away from her. You
No,
can't take it away.
No.
I told Jay before you were in here too, because my mom was doing something where she made a cake for you yesterday or today or yesterday, and she didn't need it anymore. So she said, "Do you want to bring
She
this over?"
didn't need the cake anymore.
Something happened where she went on to make another one, and she goes, "Oh, do you want to bring the cake over to the guys?" And I'm like, "Mom, I'm not going to go
Hey.
over there at 30 and bring a cake that my mom
What?
made."
Why not?
Well, I didn't want to be made fun
I would
of.
love it.
You didn't want to be
Right
made
now.
fun
I
of.
didn't want to be
Eric
You're
didn't
gonna
want to
be
be
made-
made fun of. You're going to be made fun of no matter what.
Yeah,
dude.
no matter
You
what.
walked in the house.
You might as well bring a cake.
Wow. Jay, didn't really taking the liberties on the Eric badge there, but it's like, and then I walk in and it's like, well, the house is clean. Well, my mom came over and cleaned it. Like, I should have brought the cake now.
It would have been the
Shut up.
perfect day to bring your
Yeah,
mom's
any
cake.
day I could have brought it.
Yeah, can your mom cook?
Yeah.
Is your mom listening? Does she have a car?
No, she never
Hell
listened.
no, she
No,
never
God,
listened.
no. Although there's only been one time.
I'm sure they'd write us a letter if they were listening.
Yeah.
there was one time when she was, for some reason, I don't know why she stumbled onto the live YouTube channel. But
Oh,
you
it
were-
saw you
But
getting
Jay,
milk.
no, Jay wasn't here yet, and we were talking about tattoos, and I talked about the idea that I would get a sleeve again if I could.
Yeah.
I literally got home. You are not going to get a sleeve tattoo, and blah blah blah. And I don't know why would you want to do that.
Would you get a Detroit Cast tattoo?
God, I have to be making money.
Well, no. If we covered it, if we paid for it.
No, I
You
have to.
talk about a shameless radio stunt.
I will get
No,
a
not
bunch of.
shameless.
I will get a bunch more tattoos when I'm not living at home anymore. That's when I'll get.
Oh,
tattoos.
mommy and daddy won't let you get a tattoo.
Well, they.
Well, you can hide it. They don't have to see
they
it.
own enough. Yeah, but they'll find out now. Someone will tell them. Someone will listen to this.
When his mom's bathing him, she's
Yeah,
gonna
she's
see
gonna
it.
see it.
Hey, no, my mom doesn't pay me. But
My mom doesn't bathe me,
But-
as if we all thought maybe she did.
but the problem is they still have enough on me that they could take away things from me. So I can't do anything.
Dude, you need this to work. Hey, everybody, tell your friends. Just tell
Yeah.
5 of your friends.
Please.
Eric really needs this to work.
This
I was
story's going to
literally-
be really sad
Well,
otherwise.
I was literally just talking about the other tattoo that I was supposed to get too, the penis tattoo,
Mhm.
and I just said
But
I
you
would.
reneged on.
Right, I have said to this day I will get it when I move out of my parents' house full time. So when my parents, I
He's
don't
dying for that penis tattoo.
I'm not saying that. I just don't feel bad about the situation. So the
All
point
right.
is when anyway, but my mom heard
I-
about that and she got on me about my tattoos. So.
Well, we won't tell her. I won't tell her.
Thank you.
And
no one
I don't
else
know.
told her,
I don't know
please.
how the hell we got here from the balloon.
I do.
Jay.
I got
Can you
I got
please?
my dad a Father's Day gift.
Oh yeah, the balloon.
A balloon ride in
And then
Fenton,
you-
Michigan.
You quickly just went. As a side note,
Yeah,
hey, bye,
Mike's a
Mike.
dick.
Your Mother's Day. It's a
And
great
Eric is
son.
too.
And then we spun out there. So what did you bought your dad?
Yeah, so no, man, this just reminded me of that trip not a trip, it was just a little 3-hour tour up in a
A 3-hour
balloon
tour.
thing for my dad, and I'm seeing this thing blow up like it did the other day in Virginia. Friday, this thing hit the power line, and apparently, 2 people were up there along with the pilot, and just the thing just started on
Captain
fire.
Kirk.
Is that
his name's Kirk something? They called him Captain Kirk.
No way.
I swear to God.
I didn't even hear that.
Yeah,
Is it
Daniel Kirk?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Is it true now? Did I read that 2 of the people jumped from that basket up in the air?
Yeah, that's what observers thought. I mean, the thing is just an inferno, and it's one of these deals. It's just the most unbelievable thought to think that you're thinking, I've got to get out of this so badly that I'm going to jump to my death. You know, sort of a 9/11 situation.
It's exactly what I thought. The people jumping from the building. When you're up in a balloon like that, your choices are stay in my current spot or jump to my certain death, and you're choosing to jump to your certain death.
It must be so painful to, be. I mean, Tim Coe just threw up the picture. That thing is an absolute inferno.
Yeah.
I would jump to, absolutely.
Yeah.
You do.
But when you're, I mean, how many feet down would you be before it was like, oh boy, I should have thought this through.
No.
This isn't going to end well. The other way probably would have sucked too, but I know this isn't going to end well.
Burn alive or jump to your death. What an awful.
Well, because I don't think it stayed engulfed, or did it? Do we know?
Yeah, my understanding was that
oh
the
my
basket
God,
just was
dude.
engulfed.
Wow. Yeah.
And so it took them a couple days to find the third body. The 2, I guess, were found fairly quickly.
Yes.
But
they're part of this basket. They're
yeah, part of the athletic department, was it?
Yes, exactly. At the college there, University of Richmond.
The Spiders.
The Spiders. Yeah, you're right. It was the associate head women's basketball coach Ginny Doyle and Natalie Lewis, head of women's basketball operations, that were killed, along with Daniel Kirk, Captain Kirk as they call him. What a terrible story. It's too bad. Anything involving a balloon, I immediately think of that douchebag Heaney, science detective Richard Heaney, and Falcon, little brat,
Yeah, the kid allegedly stuck in the balloon.
Yeah.
The UFO, whatever they called it.
Exactly. That was a fake, and his own brat sold him out on TV. It was hilarious.
Science detective.
There you go.
Yeah.
And that's them singing it, right? Him and his family.
I think so. Yeah, they're in a band now.
Everything on earth.
Oh, what a turd. This guy's just so desperately hungry for media attention. It's a joke.
Yeah, he had his kid hide in the attic, right?
Yeah, the barn or something, whatever it was out back.
What was going to be their end game on that? They were trying to get him to say that, oh no, I just ran away and hid. I wasn't really in there. That my parents really thought I was in there. Was that how they were trying to play it?
I think so, yeah, okay. That he was sleeping in the barn or something, didn't hear everybody screaming for him, and he got what he wanted, which was all this media coverage that an 8-year-old boy was in a runaway balloon UFO.
So weird, man.
So stupid. Oh, so stupid. But, unfortunately, this does not have the happy ending that one did. And these poor people, I can't even imagine. I can't imagine.
There's a lot of ways to die, and that ain't a good one, man.
That's not a good one. Well, and on that note, why don't we take a quick break and come back, and I need an update on the Virgin Hooer.
Yes.
Can you maybe give us an update on the Virgin Hooer?
We got some more information on that we will definitely provide.
Yeah, and the Nigerian girls, talk a little bit about that. Also, Donald Sterling and his wife, Shelley. Lots to get to. Monica Lewinsky as well. We'll touch on all that when we come back next on the Detroit Cast.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break.
You can ask me anything you want. I may choose to not answer it. And I hope... And I'm just really grateful, actually, to get to do this. So this is really neat and special for me. So, okay. So who wants to ask the first question? Yes. Glasses and denim jacket.
Your enormous celebrity has definitely come with a big price tag. Do you feel like it's been worth it?
No, I didn't choose it. I didn't choose to become a public person. The way I came into the public spotlight was pretty tragic for me and for my family and my friends. I think I would do anything to have my anonymity back. I know that may be a conflict to some people because here I am sitting here in front of cameras doing a show. But I'm struggling and trying to balance really what this new life is and what it's like to lose your anonymity and just to move on, I guess. Okay. Yeah.
Why are you doing this? What is this going to do for you?
I think one of the first reasons I wanted to do it was because I was finally free to speak. Part of my immunity agreement with Independent Counsel's office prohibited me from talking about January 16th, which was the day that I was first approached by the FBI and I found out about the investigation.
We are going by the book.
I was not allowed to comment on the character of any witness.
We want the truth. We want all the truth.
I was not allowed to talk about Ken Starr, what I thought of Ken Starr.
We will satisfy ourselves.
And that complete freedom and feeling like, from what I had experienced, accurate. And I felt like misconceptions than to answer people's direct. Better way to be accurate. People's perceptions were so inaccurate. People's perceptions I had experienced.
Getting the truth.
Hi, Monica.
Hi.
So what was it like being an intern at the White House?
I was in the center of where everything was going on. It was a very exciting environment in that there was just so much energy that was always flowing through the halls. There was always something happening. You sort of knew at the end of the day you had done something, that you'd worked on something that in a small way had been kind of a part of history or a part of the government. And I thought it was a lot more intriguing than I had originally expected it to be.
The Detroit Cast continues now, bitches. Here's Mike and Jay.
All right. Welcome back to the Detroit Cast. Mike and Jay here. And we got Monica Lewinsky's article in Vanity Fair. We'll get to that in a minute here. Along with Donald Sterling and his wife, as we predicted, not going to go away easy as far as wanting to give up ownership of the Los Angeles Clippers. But first things first, Jay, why don't you give us an update on our virgin whore?
An
Sounds
important
ridiculous.
story we've been tracking for the listeners for the past week and a half or so.
Yeah, at least.
This is a young lady who we had suspicions, strong suspicions, after last week's pullout of the auction. That she didn't exist, but we have breaking news that this chick does actually exist.
You were adamant that this was bullshit. She did not exist.
Adamant that this was a picture of some Eastern European chick who was probably dead.
And there were two dudes, hairy dudes.
Two hairy dudes in a basement in Missouri. That was my prediction. Well,
yeah,
I've been
money.
proven wrong. Hannah Kern is the virgin whore. And
Really?
she actually is a med student in Seattle. She goes to the University of Washington. And as we told you about last week, the auction abruptly ended when she pulled out when the bids were stalled at $801,000. So that just drew a lot of questions like, was this a scam the whole time? Was it a hoax because we were called the $100 non-refundable fee to make a bid?
Oh, yeah.
And, of course, we're cynics, and so we thought, well, that's just somebody collecting through PayPal a bunch of $100 bids and then just walking away with it. Well, in fact, this chick exists, and
do we know if the pictures were actually of her?
Yeah, it sounds like they were.
Really?
And they were recognized by fellow students who just knew her as a real bookwormy kind of chick, med student.
Yeah.
They sort of couldn't believe, like, is that her? Is that Hannah?
Yeah.
And
can you imagine one of your, just like someone you went to school with?
Chick you're sitting next to in biology.
That'd be so weird.
Well, that's what happened with the Duke porn star recently, right?
Yeah.
Real popular porn star who's attending Duke University, and the old saying always goes, "Oh, I'm trying to make my way through med school." Or, yeah, that's why I'm a stripper.
Sure.
Well, the chick at Duke was doing that, and somebody called her out. Hey, you're so and so. Well, this happened too with a fellow student, I guess, who recognized her. But the University of Washington is none too pleased, apparently.
What?
As
I'm shocked.
They've been identified as the university that she attends, and they're going to let her take qualifying exams next Friday, but they aren't sure what disciplinary action, if any, they'll be levying on her.
Well, what could they possibly
kick her out?
Really?
Yeah.
I suppose you can kick her out technically for anything, but don't you think that'd be they'd get quite a backlash if they kicked her out? Just think about how many students on campus are putting out for each other. All of them. Like, just because she's talking about making some money on the side for it, what would they kick her out for? Making a bad name for the university, I guess?
Immoral behavior. Yeah.
Is that okay?
You know what? There's certain professions too where you have to pass like a character and fitness type exam, not an exam, but a review. Lawyers
would, doctors, I'm sure.
And so that definitely puts the university in bad light when everybody's talking about, oh, where'd she go? University of Washington.
Yeah.
Everybody. University of Washington.
Well, that's probably why the fake name, and didn't want to say where she was going.
Yeah, we couldn't believe that name was fake. Elizabeth Rain.
Rain, yeah.
But yeah, what she did, apparently she backed out when they couldn't confirm that any of the bets or any of the bids were actually firm bids. That even given the $100 fee to get in, it looks like people were just screwing around.
Really?
And somebody threw down a big bid, and when they tried to confirm it, they couldn't confirm it, and so she just, the next bid, who knows what it was, just speculating, maybe $2,000, and she just said, no, this isn't worth it.
Yeah. Well, when we first did the story, I think the bid was $550,000, and then quickly it was $801, and then it seemed like it stopped at $801,000.
Yeah.
But it just seemed like, who's going to pay $100 cleared through a PayPal account just to make the bid?
Yeah.
It seemed like that's an expensive joke for someone wanting to screw around.
Yeah. But somebody did it, and
yeah,
at least that's what we're hearing now. That the reason she pulled out, she just didn't see any firm bids or not enough to make it worth it.
That seems lame.
This so calls into question what we talked about before. She's a 28-year-old alleged virgin who's auctioning this thing off. It's like, what causes you to hold on to your virginity that long? Probably strong moral, ethical, religious, whatever it is, beliefs. What happened that she just wants to throw that away in the most slutty way possible?
Yeah.
It's just
calling herself a whore. Plus, if you read the whole story, which I know you did and I did, she comes from, she didn't need money. She's traveled abroad and studied abroad.
Yeah, her father is getting a lot of questions from media, and he's none too pleased.
I
sounds
bet.
Like too. Supposedly a successful business guy.
Look at her. She's gorgeous.
Sure.
I mean, for a whore, for a 28-year-old med student, you think it's some nerdy.
Yeah.
I mean, she's blonde-haired, blue-eyed, or whatever. She's cute.
I totally thought she was a dead Eastern European chick. I can't believe she's alive.
And real.
Yeah.
So
I was off on that one, but.
So I'd really love to know how many people paid $100.
Yeah, where did the bidding really go? How many people really gave true bids?
Was it 10?
Yeah, right.
Did she do this for $1,000? Because and does non-refundable really mean non-refundable if it doesn't go through? If you end up canceling the whole thing? I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
Lawyer, do you know?
This requires probably a call to her at some point.
Yeah, I'd love to talk to her. I've tried to find Elizabeth Rain, and I'm just striking out left and right.
Hey, we'll do what we can.
Yeah,
we'll do what we can to close the loop on that story.
We actually are trying to track her down, and I promise you, if we do ring up and get her to answer the phone, which is not impossible, we will get the same response that we got from Monica Lewinsky when we got her to answer the phone, which was, yeah, thanks, I'm not doing anything. Click.
Speaking of Lewinsky, she's back in the news.
Monica Lewinsky, yeah, how about that for a seg? Yeah, she is back in the news, and why?
Suspicious timing.
Suspicious timing. And I loved your take on it the other day when we first brought this up, before this article had come out, which was the possibility of the Clintons wanting this out now, get it out of the way before Hillary makes a run in 2016.
Yeah, and that wasn't my original thought. I can't take credit for that, of course, but I do believe that. The more I think about it, I believe they've at least phoned in, a favor kind of deal. If not payment to her, or come on,
Yeah.
Let's close this up. Let's do it now.
If it's gonna come out, the sooner the better. And I can't remember where you had heard that, but you brought it to.
It was Lynn
show.
Cheney, Dick Cheney's daughter.
And I think you mentioned that then, but I heard it from you, so I give you credit.
I'll take it.
Screw Lynn Cheney. Fuck Lynn Cheney. I don't even know Lynn Cheney, so. Yeah, Jay, you get all credit for that.
Thank you.
Anyway,
Eric's over here. Damn it! I never get credit for anything. How does Jay get credit for it?
It's just like that. Never mind. Whatever.
It's so unfair.
I'm not going to give you credit for it. I heard it from Jay.
Well, you know what? I bring this article to Jay.
It's all about you, Eric.
Jeez,
all about you.
The show all about Eric now.
All about Eric. All right.
Damn. About his mom's cake and
that he didn't bring here, by the way, for anyone.
Tattoos his mom won't let him get.
Yep, penis tattoos can't get because mommy won't let him.
With Michael Sam's jersey number on it. All right, let's hear about Lewinsky.
Lewinsky, the new issue of Vanity Fair with John Hamm on the cover has got this, and it's weird because it's not like an interview. She just wrote
an essay.
Yeah, she wrote like an essay for us.
Weird.
And it's 10 years since the last time we even heard anything from her, where she did this HBO documentary, Black and White, which she references right out of the gate in this thing. And this piece that she wrote starts with, "How does it feel to be America's premier blowjob queen?" Which was a question posed from someone in the crowd to her. And she was just like taken aback, as you can imagine, and it's hurtful, it's insulting. I'm wondering what you think. What do you think when you hear the name Monica Lewinsky? Besides the obvious, hook up with the president. Does any of that time? What do you think of with that?
Yeah, I just think big scandal, and really, no matter which side of it you were on, Democrat, Republican, I think we can agree that was a point where, man, it really became us against them, you against them, whichever side you're on. It just so divided, and was such a lengthy process with the whole investigation and the whole impeachment and all that.
Kenneth Starr report.
And it just since then everything's been so damn divided politically.
Yeah. It's amazing to me though how much nobody came to this girl's defense.
Yeah.
She was a 20-year-old girl who hooked up with the most powerful man, the leader of the free world. She was an intern at the White House, and no women's groups.
Well, she fell into political no man's land.
Totally.
Because she did that with a Democratic president who was, being investigated and ultimately impeached by conservatives who went to the end of the earth to do it. And, the feminists who would typically be on the side of someone, hey, let's say that was a conservative president, you better believe liberals would have run to her and said, oh, that conservative president sexually harassed her.
Right.
He was a monster. He manipulated her and so forth. But because that was their guy, the liberals' guy that was in office and that she was helping to bring down.
Yeah.
They didn't want anything to do with her. And after reading that piece, the feeling that you're kind of left with is this chick was just left on an island, just completely alone.
I mean, and to this day,
complete pariah.
Yeah. And still.
Yeah.
She talks about going, I just wanted to be left, I wanted to be out of the public eye. I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to give, I didn't want the salacious details and all the steamy things coming out. And she really took no part in that. And she was set up by that pig Linda Tripp.
Oh, yeah.
Who made all those recordings.
But at the same time, she's a young woman who has to go on. She's not a trust fund baby.
No.
She's
sure parents were well off. Her dad did well, but
she's got to go get a job.
Yeah.
She's an intern at that point. She's got to go on with life, and she talks a little bit about this, how she's going to interviews, and they're just like, yeah, I think we're gonna pass.
Or they wanted her for the Monica name, the whole media mess that comes with being Monica Lewinsky. I found that same part that you mentioned about the job interviews was fascinating, because I can imagine what that's like. Sir, Miss Lewinsky's here to see you, and people come running in, and like the immediate reaction, it's her.
Yeah.
And it would be really, really hard. And then you think about it. She talks about at one point these wasn't it like a women's group that was oh God, how did this go? They had this, like, all these powerful women speaking at some engagement, and they were talking about her at this cocktail party or something, and
she's a total punchline. Lewinsky.
Yes.
It's sort of like Galooly went and changed his name to Stone for a reason, right?
Yeah.
Galooly was ruined. Wherever you go, you're Galooly.
Yeah.
This chick is Lewinsky, and everybody, what comes to mind with a Lewinsky?
Blowing the president.
Dick in her mouth.
Exactly. That's totally it.
Yeah.
And can you imagine dating?
Right. Yeah. There's a certain expectation, right? I mean,
hey, good enough for the president, I want to see what it was like. And then the questions. But she talks about this. Well, she's all shocked because she's like, today you would get, because this was
social media.
Social media, yeah. It's amazing how big this story was. This was everywhere. Can you imagine how big this would have been with Facebook world and Twitter and all that? And
Timko and I wouldn't have known about it, but
no, you guys wouldn't know. But yeah, it's an interesting piece. It's not all that long, but I think it's worth reading. I won't bore you with all the details, but the timing is definitely interesting. A couple years from an election.
Kind of get it out there, get people talking about it again.
Yeah.
Be done with it and move on.
And her thing is, she's constantly, since this story broke in 96, 98, whatever.
Yeah,
98. She's been trying to find, as most kids at 20 years old, trying to find her way in life. And she's from then been trying to figure out what is what does Monica Lewinsky do in this world? And she, for a long time, she was making handbags,
right.
And she traveled abroad. She'd go to London, and she's been trying, and so now with this culture of humiliation that we have going on, where people are shamed all the time or bullied, and nobody knows that world more than Monica Lewinsky. She, like as you said, she's the biggest punchline in the world's jokes forever since this story broke. And so now she's kind of focused on helping young women who deal with absolute humiliation on a grand scale like she's gone through. And so that's the point she's
yeah, and if you read
it,
she comes off as a thoughtful person. You know, she had to have some intelligence to get a job as an intern in the White House. I mean,
yeah,
chopped liver doesn't end up there.
No,
but when you compare her to like a V. Stiviano type character, the contrast is stark, and you sort of come out of this kind of like, I hope she gets a second chance. Somebody, give her a chance, give her a good job. And
I'm shocked she hasn't been. I'm shocked that at this point in this day and age, what's bigger than, as much as this country loves tearing people down, they love a comeback.
Mm-hmm.
This country loves a comeback.
Well, maybe that's what she's praying for here, because that's sort of the message you get as you read it.
Yeah, I agree. But you would have thought she would have gotten it 10 years ago. Yeah. And we'll see. She hasn't gotten anything yet.
Well, maybe that's the agreement with her and Hillary.
Yeah.
Get this out now.
Get it
Write
out of the
your
way.
essay, and we'll hook you up with a nice little gig on the East Coast.
Get you back in the White House. You won't blow the president. However, you could scissor with the president. And you mentioned V. Stiviano.
Yes.
Oh, God.
The lampshade wearing.
I think this is an interesting story. Yeah, lampshade idiot. She is a total dolt. I cannot stand V. Stiviano. I don't even think she's cute. She's a pain in the ass. But this Sterling family who owns the Clippers, depending on when you're hearing this podcast, this episode of the Detroit Cast, tonight is the airing on CNN of
with Anderson Cooper and Sterling.
Exactly, with Donald himself and his wife. It's weird. I don't know if that's an ex-wife. She's always defending him, and they're together. They're not together. But she talked to Barbara Walters, and there's clips from those out there. But she does not want to give up her part of the team. This guy, though, he claims he's not a racist. I'd love to know his definition of a racist. First off,
says, I made a mistake. That's
I made
his
a
big
mistake.
thing, right?
Yeah, that's absolutely his big thing. He's
what do you mean you made a mistake? You gave us a glimpse into your soul. You know, it's not like he went and drove drunk and made a mistake. I got behind the wheel. There you go. You know.
Yeah, that's a mistake.
The guy's talking for an hour about how he doesn't like a certain race of people. That's not a mistake. You've been honest about how you feel, asshole.
Yes, I made a terrible mistake. I'm here to apologize. He's am I entitled to one mistake? Am I, after 35 years? I mean, I love my league. I love my partners. Am I entitled to one mistake? It's a terrible mistake, and I'll never do it again. It's like, dude, you've been down this road before. This is not a one-time thing. Is that the clip there? Tim, go ahead and play it. He sounds like a child
who made a mistake, and I'm apologizing, and I'm asking for forgiveness. Am I entitled to one mistake? Am I, after 35 years? I mean, I love my league. I love my partners. Am I entitled to one mistake? It's a terrible mistake, and I'll never do it again.
The vice president of the NBA Players Association, Roger Mason, he said that the players won't accept anyone in the Sterling family owning the Clippers. Not you, not your wife, not your son-in-law, not your daughter. Do you believe that?
I really don't know. The people that are going to decide my fate, I think, are not the media and not the Players Union, but the NBA.
The owners.
Pardon me?
The owners.
The owners. If the owners feel I deserve another chance, then they'll give it to me.
But there is a path for you to fight their decision, isn't there?
Of course. But if you fight with my partners, what at the end of the road, what do I benefit? Especially at my age. If they fight with me and they spend millions and I spend millions, let's say I win or they win. I just don't know if that's important.
Why wait so long to apologize? It's been a couple of weeks. You could have come out.
That's a very good question. I'm so emotionally distraught. And the reason it's hard for me, very hard for me, is that I'm wrong. I caused the problem. I don't know how to correct it.
Do you trust people? I mean, there have been a couple of phone recordings just in the last week or two that have come out of people you've talked to on the phone, or seems to be your voice, who then sold it to, Radar Online or TMZ. And I hear that and I think, do you have anyone you trust around you?
I don't give interviews. The only one that I know that I talked to is Magic Johnson.
You have talked to him?
Twice. And then, yeah,
Did you apologize?
He knew the girl, he said. He knew the girl well.
Did you apologize to him? Or?
Well, if I said anything wrong, I'm sorry. He's a good person, and he...
Careful, Don.
What am I going to say? Has he done everything he can do to help minorities? I don't think so. But I'll say it. He's great.
This guy
I just don't think he is a good example for the children of Los Angeles. I'm not a racist. I made a terrible, terrible mistake. And I'm here with you today to apologize and to ask for forgiveness for all the people that I've hurt. And I've hurt so many people, so many innocent people.
No, you haven't.
And I've hurt myself.
Where does he talk about that woman?
I spoke to a girl that I was fond of. When I listened to that tape, I don't even know how I could say words like that. And I'm so sorry. And I'm so apologetic.
What are you sorry about?
Well, I'm sorry that so many people are hurt. I never dreamt that this could happen. It's a terrible, terrible nightmare. My players, they didn't need this. They didn't need this cloud over their head. And they're good people.
Good
and I
black
love them,
people.
and I respect them, and I would always be there for them.
When you
For
saw
them to
take
hear
off
that
those
I'm a possible racist is so painful to me, because I'm not a racist, and I've never been a racist.
When you
It's not
saw them
me.
take off wear their warm-up jerseys reversed, so the name Clippers wasn't on in that first game, what did you think?
I really didn't pay attention to that. They are Clippers, and they're mine, and I'm theirs. That's how I feel. I would do anything for them. I made a mistake. I hope it's in their heart to forgive me for that mistake. I don't know why the girl had me say those things.
You're saying you were set up.
Well, yes, I was baited. I mean, it's not the way I talk. I don't talk about people, for one thing, ever. I talk about ideas and other things, but I don't talk about people.
Do you know how the
Especially
tape
not
got
those
released?
people.
No.
Do you think she did it?
I don't know. I mean, an 80-year-old man is kind of foolish, and I'm kind of foolish. I thought she liked me and really cared for me. I guess being 51 years older than her, I was deluding myself.
Do you trust her now?
Deluding.
No, I don't trust her. And I just wish I could ask her why. And if she was just setting me up, I think that people say she was taping me for 2 years.
Wow.
So maybe I was just fooling myself, thinking for 2 years that she cared for me. She certainly acted like it.
Wow.
Wonder if he has his Ferrari back yet.
Yeah, I know the wife wants it back.
What a total dolt.
Yeah. Why did that woman make me say those things?
I'll never do it again. He's acting. This is not an action. It's his beliefs.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like,
nobody
dude,
made you
just
say
so
it.
Don't get it. He's just. It's the old. I'm sorry that I'm in trouble now.
Yeah, I'm sorry I got caught.
I'm not sorry about anything really. I mean, those are his basic beliefs. I guarantee what he expressed there.
Yeah, and I don't know why that's shocking that an 81-year-old white guy, billionaire, might have some whacked views about minorities.
Yeah.
Does that really shock a ton of people? It shouldn't.
Doesn't. The guy just comes off as so out of touch, though, doesn't he?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It's sort
he
of
is.
like a king who's been taken care of and coddled all his life and never really had to face reality. And now it's like, here's reality.
Yep.
Deal with it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I don't know what to say, but I'm sorry.
What
I don't
adult,
know,
man.
Well, yeah.
I can't believe there's much more of that interview that's, more enlightening than what we just saw.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all you need to see, right?
Yeah, you heard it right there. That's it. What else do
you want to hear from the guy?
Yeah.
That's his explanation. He has none.
Yeah. I don't know what else he can say. I don't know what he can do. But I wonder what, when this first came out, Adam Silver was quick to point out that, hey, this only applies to Donald Sterling. Donald Sterling made these comments, and the punishment is against Donald Sterling. This doesn't reflect about, and people were asking about, because his wife is frequently at the games, sitting courtside, and she wasn't going to be banned. But now, I guess and you brought it over, the
NBA Constitution.
Yeah, the Constitution of the NBA. It sounds like they don't want anything to do with that family, period.
Yeah.
Because we had talked about, sell the team for $1 to your kid or to your wife. And they're not going to go away quietly.
Well, what was LeBron's quote? Do you have that there?
Yeah,
LeBron
I do.
had a great double negative quote.
Yeah, here you go.
Like, we don't never want anyone not to be not involved.
Basically, he wants him involved is in the end. As players, we want what's right, and we don't feel like no one in his family should be able to own the team.
Well,
what?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Here's a further comment on my man Donald as I'm looking over there at the scrking. My man has certainly had a lot of work done, but not recently. Everything's been drooping. Look at everything. Cheek down is fine, but God, you got to get back to the eyes. Take care of the eyes.
Yeah, the eyes aren't looking good.
Look at that.
Yeah, what's up with the eyebrows and the? It's a
everything
mess.
Cheek down is still holding together fairly well.
Is my man missing a finger? Am I missing something?
He's like a cartoon.
He looks
character.
like a Simpsons character.
Yeah.
There it is.
There it is.
Damn it! It appeared. The way it was positioned, he looked like a Simpsons character with only 4 fingers.
Wow.
Oh God.
Yeah, so the players clearly want the whole family out, as LeBron has expressed.
Yes, they do.
That wasn't too clear to me.
And it looks
like,
it looks like it's just a matter of time before we hear about the final vote and things get churning. And
where is that
the
vote?
first? I don't know, man. Because last time we read, they were gonna hurry this ahead, right?
Yes.
First team ahead.
Yes.
They must be, having lawyers look over and under and be real clear on what needs to be done. But did you hear he kind of tipped off that he might just go off into the sunset? What if I win and get millions? What if they win and get millions? What does it matter in the end?
Yeah.
That suggests to me he might just, if the number's right, might not hear from him again.
And why not?
Yeah.
81 with cancer,
Seriously,
dude, beat it. Shelley Sterling did make an interesting point. She told Barbara Walters that she doesn't believe she should be punished for what her husband said. I'll fight that decision. To be honest with you, I'm wondering if a wife of one of the owners said those racial slurs, would they oust the husband? It's an interesting question,
I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, Shelley.
Yeah.
We're dealing with you and your situation right now.
Good point. Fair enough. Someone who might be joining the Billionaires Club with him soon.
Oh God.
Mr. Dr. Dre, ladies and gentlemen.
Talked about this last week, man. 3.2 billion Beats is going to Apple, right?
Yeah, it is.
3.2 billion.
The first billionaire in hip hop. I know, but it's never been disclosed what his percentage is. Yeah, but it sounds like it's somewhere between 20 and 25%. 20 and 25% ownership of 3.2 billion. That comes out to, quick math, 800 million.
Nice.
And he's already said to be worth, 500 million or something like that, I believe. Although his stake in the magazine's recent list of top rappers had P. Diddy, 550 million. P. Diddy was first with 700 million. Jay-Z was third with 520. But yeah, 550 million he's worth now. Add 800 million to that. Dr. Dre's doing pretty damn well, folks.
West Coast wins the race, right?
Yes, exactly. They were wondering which one of these guys, West Coast, East Coast, this rap battle, which one was going to hit $1 billion first. Here's what Dre said. This was caught on camera. It was taken down. I'm glad Timco was able to find this because this was yanked back off the site. quickly after it was posted, but.
Hold on, man. Hold on. It's not often do you get to listen to beats with Mr. Beats himself. Oh! Wait. Oh, shit. I like that. That mix is shit. Oh! I like what you doing, man. Oh, what you doing, man? That mix is Oh, shit. Watts, Compton, what? Oh, shit.
And South Central, don't trip.
A whole nother. Hold on. The homie is drunk off a Heineken. The homie drunk off a Heineken. Hey, look, it's South Central in the motherfucker. On the 3 and run, Hey, Gary. Look, it's South Central in the motherfucker.
South Central.
Another level. Billionaire Boys Club for real, homie. Huh? Fix your face. Fix your face.
Know that.
Oh, shit. The Forbes list just changed. They need, it came out like 2 weeks ago. They need to update the Forbes list. Shit just changed.
And a big what?
Oh, my.
Understand that. Oh, my.
First billionaire in hip hop, right here from the motherfucking West Coast. Believe
Good for him, man. You know,
awesome.
Think about back in '88 when we're listening to NWA. You know, bunch of little punks from Farmington Hills, Michigan,
I know.
listening to this stuff.
Straight out of
Straight
out of Stockton.
Yeah, you'll be happy you never said that, Eric. Huh?
That's right.
No,
I gave you credit. You got credit for straight out of Stockton.
You thought of it.
After you said it.
No. I thought of it before he said it. It doesn't matter whether it was proven or not. I didn't think of it after he said it.
And then he measured in his head that it wasn't going to be funny, so he didn't say
That's right.
That's
he didn't
how
feel
he explained
it. Wasn't strong enough a comment, so we let it go.
You could argue that my arguing over it has made
Jay's
it even more.
standards are lower, and he went with it.
I think you could argue that me saying I was going to say it has made it even more funny than even if I had said it originally. I think you can make that
That's
argument.
right. Motherfucker.
I don't know what that means, but I'm standing by it.
Anyway, yeah, I think it's cool seeing
That's amazing, man.
billionaire going, motherfucker.
God bless America, dude.
You gotta love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. NWA from NWA. And the fact is, before Beats, when was the last time you even saw Dre's face? He put Eminem on the map.
Yeah.
He gave Eminem instant credibility. As badass as Eminem is, Eminem's the shit. I love his style and his I think he's amazing. But without Dre's backing, would Eminem be Eminem? I don't know. Probably not.
Maybe
not
would
to
have
the
taken
level.
a different path. Yeah, he
Yeah.
would have been a star, but
Probably.
in a different way, probably.
But instant credibility
Mhm.
Dre gave him, and to see him with a few beers with his boys, motherfucker, that's great.
Awesome.
Most billionaires would never.
No,
Come
most
to a level
billionaires
like
are like
that.
fucking Donald Sterling.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
I said something that people didn't like, I guess, and I'm terribly sorry. I don't know why that woman made me say those things.
But I'm
It's
not as bad as
terrible.
Magic Johnson. That was unbelievable.
That black fellow, he didn't do everything he could for inner city people. That silly, one of those. I don't know. I'm just sorry. That woman made me say those things. I don't know why.
Dull, man.
Change up the Forbes list, motherfucker. Straight out of Stockton. There we go. All right, why don't we kill it for the day, boys?
Hell yeah.
And yeah, I guess we'll see you tomorrow.
We'll see you tomorrow,
Instead of
man.
in 2 days, we'll see you tomorrow. The Detroit Cast going 5 days, bitches. Thanks for listening, folks. We really appreciate it. Tell a friend. Tell a lot of friends. We need the help. Thanks,
As
guys.
Jay said.
We'll see you tomorrow.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.
You know not what